Starting your Shopify store can honestly be one of the best decisions of your life. It definitely gives you the opportunity to travel the world and literally buy all the monetary things that you could possibly want. Or it could be your worst nightmare, having to deal with a mountain of emails from angry customers, chargebacks, and ultimately having your Shopify store completely shut down. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you the 5 most common mistakes Shopify stores make that you wanna avoid at all costs. Now, if you haven't already started your Shopify store, make sure that you check out my free trial link. I'll link it in the description down below, or I'll have it in the first pinned comment. So the first common mistake that I see is not having a marketing plan in place. I know there's a famous saying that if you build it, they will come. Well, they were not talking about Shopify stores at all, okay? Because you 100% will build a store and you will get zero traffic if you don't have a marketing plan in place. So what I recommend that you do is really start to dial in who is your target audience. You do this by building a buyer persona. Now, there's a lot of resources that help you do this, but essentially you just figure out, what is the age range? What do they do? Where do they hang out, on the internet? So you can compile all this information so you can use it to develop your marketing strategy, okay? Now, pretty much every marketing strategy is pretty much the same. Like, you can only really do a handful of things to market your products. So one of the most popular is email marketing and SMS marketing when it comes to e-commerce, but also social media marketing is very powerful, influencer marketing, SEO. So you want to make sure that you figure out what marketing strategies work best for your skill sets, right? And how you want to market your Shopify store. But trust me, you want to make sure that you have something in place, because 90% of stores fail because they don't have a marketing plan. So make sure that you figure out something. Now, on this channel, I have plenty of videos that go over various marketing strategies that can help you, like paid advertising on Facebook and TikTok, or how to just promote your business on TikTok and how to use email marketing. So if any of that interests you, just make sure that you check out my channel. I have a Shopify playlist that could really, really help you out. So the second common mistake that I see is shipping. And we are living in this Amazon era right now, so where people can get their packages in literally 2 days. So people do not want to wait for shipping. They want it right now. And they will go to your competitors if your shipping time is too long. Now, that's not to say that people won't wait for shipping, but you want to make sure that you communicate it thoroughly, okay? So if you're gonna use a business model like drop shipping or print on demand, you wanna make sure that it's communicated very clearly, the estimated shipping times, because if you don't, you will get a lot of angry emails and chargebacks. Some other things that you want to consider are things like return shipping costs, because those, unfortunately, as you grow, are inevitable. You want to make sure that you have clear tracking. So when you do ship out your order, you send that to your customers so they're well aware of the process. You want to make sure that you have some type of good insurance, because again, packages do get lost. So there are a lot of different things when it comes to shipping that people don't realize until it's happening. So make sure that you do your research and make sure that you automate the process, so you know all the ins and outs of shipping from your Shopify store. The third mistake that I see is that Shopify stores are not optimized for mobile. Now, this may seem like a no-brainer, but it's actually very easy to not even think about it when you're building your Shopify store. I see a lot of people build their store on desktop and it looks beautiful, but then when they go on mobile, it runs slow and the orientation just doesn't look good. So you want to make sure that when you are creating your Shopify store, that it runs just as smooth on desktop as it does on mobile devices. So you want to make sure that you optimize your images, make sure that those files are smaller, right? The bigger the file, the harder it is for your Shopify store to load. And when it comes to installing apps to your Shopify store, you want to make sure that you don't install too many apps, because then that can slow down your store as well. So you want to make sure that your store loads as fast and looks as clean as possible. So make sure that you test out your checkout process, all of that, to make sure that your store is running as fast as it possibly can. Which leads me to the fourth most common mistake, which is having too long of a checkout process. If your checkout process is too long, your customer is just going to abandon cart. It's just like when you go to Walmart, you pick out all these things that you say that you need, but when you actually see how long that checkout line is, you really start to think, do I need these items that bad? And if it's a no, you're just gonna leave and come another day. But on Shopify, they're probably not gonna come back to your store. So you wanna get your Shopify store checkout process as close as possible to a one-page checkout. Now, I don't think you can get to a one-page checkout unless you're on their super pro plan, which I don't recommend that you sign up for unless you just have the money to spend, and by all means do that. But there are some apps and some themes that you can utilize that will help you get as close to possible to a one-page checkout that I definitely recommend that you check out. So the last mistake that I see is not having some type of social proof on your Shopify store. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And if your customer comes to your store and it doesn't look trustworthy, they are not going to buy from you, okay? So you want to make sure that you have different social proof elements on your Shopify store, just so you look trustworthy and they know that other people have gotten a product from you and they've liked the product that they got. So the first thing that you can do is add just reviews from previous buyers. This is very simple to do, and there are plenty of apps that you can utilize that automatically imports reviews from customers. So you definitely want to add this to your product pages. Another thing that you could do is show any highlights or rewards. Like, this is always a good thing to do. Another thing that you can do is show off any highlights or accolades or any publications that your Shopify store has been in, right? You want to share any user-generated content that, people have used your product before. Use verified labels, so when they go in their store and they check out, they know that this is a safe and trusted system. Like, you just want to do everything in your power to build your credibility. So if you think it builds to your credibility, 100% add it to your Shopify store. Now, if you're interested in learning the 5 best ways to market your Shopify store this year, make sure that you check out this video right here.